Hello and welcome to Fight Picks with the Pros. My name is Chris Holdsworth, and today we're going to review 4 fights for the upcoming UFC Fight Night card featuring Rob Font versus Cody No Love Garbrandt. Today I'm joined by UFC featherweight Josh Emmett. Stick around to the end to see our picks on the main event. Let's go.
Introducing Fight Picks with the Pros, brought to you by FanDuel.
All right, first fight we're going to talk about is Ricardo Ramos coming in at plus 100 versus Bill Algeo. Cool name. It's a featherweight bout overview. They originally scheduled for April 17th. I think someone tested positive, so it got pushed back. Yeah, that sucked. But, you know, Ricardo's fighting with the team. He's been with us for a while now. He reps the Brazilian flag. We've got a few Brazilian fighters coming up in the mix that are looking really good, and Ricardo is one of them. 14-3. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's 5-2 in the UFC. So he's had 7 fights now. So I would, you know, he's a vet. You know, that's a lot of fights. This Algeo guy, honestly, I haven't seen him too much. He's 14-5. 3 TKOs and 6 subs, so he seems like he's well-rounded. He can finish you on the feet, or you know, he's finishing people with ground and pound. Coming off a win over Spike Carlisle. That's how you pronounce it. 62% takedown defense, lands twice as much significant strikes, 6.8. Seems like it's going to be a good matchup. Do you know anything about Algeo?
Yeah, no, I saw just because he fought Ricardo Ramos. That was his first fight in the UFC, so he's 1-1. He lost to Ramos, and then, you know, he won his last fight.
How did Ramos finish him?
No, he just won decision.
Okay.
It was in his. Ramos was supposed to fight somebody, and it was like late replacement. He always gets that. Ramos, I feel bad for the guy, and so he still took the fight on like a 2-week notice or 1 week, and had to fight this guy. He's hungry. He's new. He's exciting.
Think he's more of a striker or a grappler?
Well, yeah, he's more of a striker, but he had some decent good wrestling, and even on the ground, you know, they were like, he was transitioning pretty well to different things. So I think he's pretty well rounded. He was a former featherweight champion in a different organization before he got in the UFC. So yeah, he's well rounded. It's gonna be a good fight. But I think you know, Ricardo, he's always in the gym. I see him in here putting in so much work, and
yeah, I've seen a lot of changes or a lot of progression from Ricardo. Like, you know, he changed some things up. He's training. Man, his training is looking very good right now, actually. I'm seeing him in the gym, like, all day. You know, he's always doing something. So I know he's hungry to get this win. I think Ricardo has enough to beat him. He's coming up from bantamweight. He used to fight at 135, and I think that was a big cut for him. So now these last few fights, I talked to him about. He's like, man, featherweight's so much better for me. You know, I don't have to kill. You know, I don't have to kill myself making weight. And I think a lot of guys need to make that decision. But I got Ricardo Ramos, home team, of course. You know, I can see him, you know, edging out a decision. Or, you know, I feel comfortable with Ricardo, you know, getting a submission win, too. His jiu-jitsu is very good, and, you know, he can finish you from any position. His back, your back, wherever, on top. So I'm going Ricardo Ramos. Either he's going to edge out a decision or he's going to get a submission later in the fight.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, I've got to go with Ricardo. He feels a lot better going up from bantamweight to featherweight. I was thinking the same thing. I think Ricardo is going to pull off a decision, but you never know. He could catch him in a submission, like you say, or even he's had some gnarly KOs, you know, as well. That spinning elbow KO that he had before. I could see him catching him anyway, but most likely I'm going Ramos by decision.
Yeah, same here on my side. I saw him in the gym this morning, actually, and I went up to him. I said, how are you going to get the finish this weekend? I want to see a spinning back elbow. And he said, I don't know. I'm just trying to get the win. Yeah. So he said he's feeling good, feeling ready. He looked full of energy. He was getting ready to hit mitts. So I figured this is probably the last day before he heads out.
Yeah, well, I think we're all on the same flight tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Yep, we'll be in Vegas.
Sweet. Love it. So good luck to him.
All right. Next fight we're going to talk about is Jack the Joker Hermansson versus Edmen the Golden Boy Shahbazyan. Originally set for UFC 262, both fighters are looking to rebound from losses. Shahbazyan is only 23 years old, 5-1 in the UFC, and he was a fast-rising prospect. He's coming out of Edmen's camp, and Edmen used to be Ronda Rousey's like MMA
Kind
coach.
of in LA, right?
Yeah, it's actually in North Hollywood, I think.
Okay.
But I know Edmen because he was on the season of The Ultimate Fighter. He was the coach. So he's a great coach. And I've been hearing about this Shahbazyan guy for a long time. Ronda was real hyped on him. And he's been with that camp since he's been a kid. So it's always cool to see somebody, start martial arts when they were young and then make it all the way to the UFC and be successful. 11-1, 9 TKOs, 1 sub. His fight, he lost to Brunson, right? Yeah, I remember Brunson was taking him down, and he ended up giving up. Didn't he give up in between rounds, or no? Or he got TKO'd in round 3. He almost gave up. He wanted to give up in between rounds. I remember that, and his corner was like, "No, you're not giving up." And then he got finished in that next round. Wow. So we'll see. He's probably hungry and wants to get that win again. And but Jack Hermansson is no joke. Yeah. This is gonna be a grappler versus a striker. I feel like if Jack Hermansson gets Shahbazyan to the ground, he's gonna be able to finish him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Take,
I feel like Shahbazyan, he's a young, hungry fighter, but he's also, I think he was kind of thrown into the lions a little too quick, and without that experience, when these guys have 20 plus fights, they've been fighting at the highest level for years. But I agree. Like if Shahbazyan can keep it on the feet and stuff those takedowns, I could see him, picking him apart from the outside. But I do feel like Hermansson's going to do everything in his power to get him against the cage, take him down, and he's so damn good on the ground. And they're fighting in that smaller cage at the apex, so I feel like he can, just pressure him a little, get his back against the cage, and then he can, work to get out.
Yeah, Brunson kind of showed the game plan, for Shahbazyan. Is, put the pressure on him, grapple him a little bit, put him against the cage, make him work back up, eat the shots. So I think Jack Hermansson, if he can stop the striking onslaught and get some takedowns and wear down Shahbazyan, I think he can get the sub, in the second or third round. But I can see Shahbazyan landing some sneakers in there and getting Hermansson as well. So my gut feeling, ooh man, I want to go with the grappler, but for some reason I think Edmen is just hungry for after that last loss, and he's gonna end up like TKOing Hermansson. That's my call.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna go with. I'm going with Jack Hermansson. I'm gonna go second round submission.
Oh,
Chris was thinking that. Yeah, I think those are both great points. Edmen was on such a hype train, 11-0. I remember watching that fight, and the commentators were just so pulling for him for the whole fight. Everyone was singing his praises, talking about his camp, talking about Edmen, Ronda Rousey. His striking is so clean, and Brunson was the gatekeeper. Get past Brunson, you're going to be up there for a shot. And, of course, Derek Brunson said, I don't think so, buddy. You're not quite ready. So he TKO'd him. Was a bad look for him. It was bad. On the brink of giving up, talking to his corner. It's not a good look, but no shame in that. He's in there getting pinged around by Derek Brunson, so who knows how hurt he was. And Hermansson's great too. So I like both calls here. I like Jack Hermansson. I think if he does get the win, it is going to be by submission. But I do see Edmen coming in to prove something. All the naysayers after that last fight, I can see him get the TKO too. So I like both calls there. All right.
Next fight we're going to talk about is Fury
Zane.
Zane? Is it Jan Zane? Oh, I'm sorry. I actually know Jan. She's a good fighter. Versus Carla Esparza, a former champion. This is going to be a great fight. I thought these two might have fought before. Maybe we just talked about it. Classic striker versus grappler. Esparza gets 3.5 takedowns, in a fight. And Jan has 75% takedown defense. Both fighters are looking to possibly get title shots after this win. Jan used to train with us a little bit. She's probably doing her own thing. I don't know if she's in Vegas now or if she's back in China. But I was really impressed by her MMA game, her striking. I felt her striking was her best aspect. And I remember her last fight. I thought, who did she fight her last fight? Gadelia. I think I called Gadelia to win. I thought Gadelia was going to get the submission, but Jan proved me wrong once again. So She's fighting Carla Esparza, though, so I know Esparza is going to try to take her down and work her grappling. I know Carla. We used to train together at the Gracie Academy back in the day, so we're friends. So this is a tough one for me to call, but I personally think Jan's going to be able to stuff the takedowns and either work back up and either finish Carla or win a decision. But, Carla's no joke, and I can see her wearing Jan out with the takedowns and getting on top of her and landing some ground and pound.
Yeah, no, it is a tough one. Same thing. It's like striker versus wrestler. I know Carla Esparza too. We wrestled in college at Menlo.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
So it's I don't know Jan. I must have been injured when she came in and trained here, but yeah, I think Carla's going to pressure her a lot, and I think she will find a way to get the takedown. And if she can do that and just kind of make Jan carry her weight and try to tire her out and weather that storm, because Jan's striking is so good. So if she can kind of weather the storm for the first few rounds, and maybe Carla can she has a good gas tank and her boxing has been getting so much better over the years as well, and her striking. So I'm going to go, I'm leaning towards Carla. I'm going to go Carla by decision.
A good call. I respect that.
That's a good pick.
Her last 2 wins were versus Watterson and Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Rodriguez fight was really close, and Rodriguez has been on a tear herself. But I think Jan is going to be able to pick her apart with her striking. It's going to be very hard for Carla to close the distance. And when she does close the distance, Jan is hard to take down. She's hard to hold down. And I think her grappling has just been getting better and better over time. So I got Jan by TKO or decision.
It's time for the main fight pick of the evening.
Moving on, we got the main event. We got Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. All right, this is a bantamweight fight, fan-friendly fight. Both of these guys come to knock each other out. They both come to entertain the fans. Font was sidelined for slightly over a year with a knee injury before his TKO return in December versus Marias, which was a great fight and a great finish over a top contender. And then Cody Nola was supposed to fight for Figueroa for the flyweight title, but ended up having to be canceled because he caught COVID, which sucked. Not getting that opportunity, but. We got Rob Font, 18-4, 8 TKOs with 4 subs. Camp, he's fighting on a team Sid Yutong, which is Mark Delagrati's team out there in the Boston area, if I'm not mistaken. I know
he's with the Cartel, right? Team Cartel, or
I think he kind of does both. Maybe
Okay,
he's
so-
with Team Cartel now, and he
Okay.
used to be with Sid Yutong. But he's coming off of 3 straight wins last round versus Marias, his last win, and he's got a 6-inch reach advantage, and that's a big reach advantage. But I think Cody has his speed. I think he has everything to get inside and get past that range. Cody, 12-3, 10 TKOs, 2 decisions. Last win, huge KO versus a Sunsao at the buzzer. Walk off KO, and then former champ. I want to. I want to hear your take, and I'll give my take afterwards because this is going to hit a little home for me because I'm in the corner. I work with Cody. But I think this is going to be a great fight for the fans. They both bring that entertainment factor. They're both going to try to finish you at every second of the fight. Give me your take on this, Josh.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a great fight. Obviously Cody coming from our team. Rob Font, he actually came out and trained with us, I want to say like 8 years ago. So
Yeah,
I remember.
I got sparring footage
yeah.
still of me and him.
Yeah, I remember working with him.
That's cool.
I remember working with him as well. Good guy. I agree with you. Cody's so fast. Like he's going to be a lot faster than Rob Font. I know that for a fact. I think Cody can get inside. I think he can mix his wrestling up in this too, and Cody's wrestling is really good, but he just doesn't use it in fights, so people really don't know that. Rob, we know he's long. He has that long reach. He's going to come out. He has a good jab. He has good cross, and I think he's going to really be targeting those calf kicks to slow Cody's movement down. You know what I mean? Because Cody can move and he's fast, but if Cody just blitzes in and then dances around, like he can do that with anybody if he just stays patient, stays calm. He can beat anyone in the world and just take it round by round, and either Cody can catch him, and I think he can knock him out, or Cody can pull off a pretty easy decision win as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about too much because I don't want to give away anything, but it's gonna be a good fight.
I like that. So for everyone watching, Chris just brought it up, but he's cornering Cody Garbrandt for this fight. Has been in his corner for a while now, so I'm sure you guys have the game plan going on for Rob and watch some film and know what you're doing going in. So I'll throw some of my opinion at you guys. What I loved is how Cody's last fight, you know, I'm a huge fan of these guys. I'm like, I start getting nervous when I'm watching them. And Cody's one of those guys. There's maybe 5 guys, and Cody's one of them. But he was so patient in that fight. He was just flowing. He felt it, not overthrowing these crazy right hand, left hook. And it was scary to see a patient, fast Cody. And, of course, we saw how it ended. I've never seen someone get sparked cold like that. It was a scary buzzer beater KO. So, Josh, I'll throw it to you. You kind of said this. Cody has to feel his patience, slow down the fight in his mind a little bit, and it's kind of a weird thing. It's slow down the fight, but then you're still quick with that hand speed and combinations, right? So jump into that a little more so we can save Chris from.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying with you have to go in calm and compose like in a fight, and not let it's a fight. You're gonna get hit, so you can't let not your ego, but you got to take it round by round and just stick to the game plan, and that's exactly what Cody did in his last fight. You know what I mean? Like he just moves around, he's relaxed, he's so fast. So I think he's one of the fastest guys in the UFC. I don't think anyone's really faster than him with his hand speed. You know what I mean? And so if he just stays composed and, like I said, takes it round by round, he can, and he has a lot of power as well. You know what I mean? So I can see it going. I could see him winning a few different ways, but he's fighting a tough Rob Font as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Chris, back to you. We'll give the official predictions.
Yeah. Rob's got a lot of weapons. He's got kicks, he's got elbows, he's got knees, and he throws every weapon in every fight. So it's gonna be a clash of the Titans. The main event, former champ versus up and comer, who's been in the UFC for a very long time and has worked his way up through some of the top contenders. I think if Cody connects, it's gonna be an early night. If he connects, it's gonna be early. But we do have to stay disciplined. We do have to use our footwork, and we have to be patient. And that's all I'm gonna say on it.
Okay, Josh, let's throw it over to you for the official prediction.
Let's see. I'm going to go definitely I'm going with Cody winning, but I just don't know how he's going to get it done, either decision or, like Chris said, if he lands, early, he has power in those hands, so I could see a KO of some sort, but I'm going to go Cody by decision.
I think that's a good pick. Okay, before we go into the wrap, to wrap the show here, that was our main event. Chris, why don't you throw your favorite nickname for Josh?
Oh, man. Bowling ball hands. I don't know.
I'll give him. I like Josh the Bald Bomber.
You've been thinking about that one, huh?
I like the Bronze Bomber.
Yeah.
Maybe Josh, do you have a nickname? Never had a coach
I don't, man. I've had so many people come at me with like weird stuff, and I'm like, none of it's stuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. I don't even know. Wrecking Ball. Like, what was some people say? Yeah, Wrecking Ball. People used to say like. Someone who said like Josh,
Gorilla.
Jason Statham. And I was like, fuck, I don't look anything like him.
I can see.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's always something to do with like,
something with your power,
iron hands or bricks or whatever. But I'm not gonna.
Josh, bricks for hands, Emmett.
That's why I'm like, nothing's ever stuck, so I'm just sticking to my name until something does. Maybe it'll never happen.
We'll think of something, Chris. We'll come up with something better and get it out there.
Yeah, I'll get back to you next week. All right. Thanks for watching Fight Picks with the Pros, brought to you by FanDuel. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Hello, everyone. Bruce Buffer here. Thank you for watching the MMA Surge YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and get notified when we upload next.